What up, Dokkanners? Will we be receiving top grossing for part 2 on the 9th anniversary? The answer is yes. How many Dragon Stones will we be receiving for top grossing in part 2? Around 30 Dragon Stones, just like JP. Around 30. Could be at 30, could be below, could be above, could be even way more. But it's most definitely going to be somewhere around here, in my opinion. And when is it going to be happening? It's going to be taking a couple of days, because it usually takes not a couple of days, a few days. It takes a few days for the top grossing to roll in. So there you go. I've answered all the questions right away. For those of you with goldfish attention spans, you are good to go. But for those of you who'd like to stick around for the rest of the video, I would appreciate it. So if you guys have been enjoying all the 9th anniversary content on the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers. And a couple of you guys have been asking me to do this, and I appreciate it because I honestly just keep forgetting, and I want people to be aware of it. We have merch on the channel. If you are interested in checking out merch, if you click the store tab here on the right of the YouTube channel, you will see just a few of the designs. There are more on the Teespring website, but if you guys want to check it out, feel free to do so. All prices are at the absolute lowest that they can possibly go without me getting blocked by Teespring. So I wanted to make these as affordable as possible. I make basically nothing off of it. It's like under a, I'm supposed to have it be, I think, at least 50-cent rep profit margin or something like that. I made it as low as possible because for me, it's not about making money off of this. It's about getting this merch out there. It's about you guys representing and being tunes. So check it out. Link is in the description. I'll pin this down below in the comment. Check out the Teespring website. Now let's jump in. Let's take a look at the charts. Let's see how everything went out for global. Just to remind you guys, part 1, JP got 30 Dragon Stones. And then for part 1 top grossing, global got 35. Because 5 regions hit #1 in not only top grossing, but in games. So they did not check all categories here. They checked games. And I think we talked about this in that charts video before we got the top grossing, because I think all categories for this one was only 4, and then 5 was in all games. Either one of those are feat-worthy things, or noteworthy feats, I should say. So that's why they decided to extend it to 5 to give us a little bit more. They could have done this for a number of reasons, maybe to compensate for something that JP got that global didn't, or maybe to compensate for the potential of global not getting as much maybe during part 2. Usually part 1 outperforms part 2. There are a few exceptions, which I cannot remember off the top of my head, but in general, part 1 does better than part 2. I can also tell you from, in terms of the stream activity, in terms of the overall hits on the videos, things have not been the same as part 1, which is totally understandable because we're still, I think a lot of people are very much accustomed to part 1 still being the major celebration, the major selling point. So plus people like fusions, so all, you know, so many different reasons. So around 30 is still a safe bet. Let's check out the numbers for global's top grossing versus JP. By the way, global's top grossing takes longer because we span the entire globe. So you got to keep that in mind. If you're wondering where top grossing is, why isn't it dropping sooner? We literally need more time. JP has 1 region and you only have to hit top grossing at any point during the day. So it is a very different system for JP versus global. So that also means when we hit the unification, I am 100, no, I'm gonna say 99.3% confident top grossing is not going to change in terms of how they tabulate and pay it out. Global will still probably get the same rewards as JP. They'll have to fudge with the numbers a little bit, but it's going to take longer because JP in a race, this is the analogy that Proton uses in this, and I very much like it. You should definitely read this. In the race, if you are leading at any point, you get top grossing. Even if it's for 1 second, you get top grossing on JP. For a global, you have to win the race. You have to win the race to get top grossing. So each region is its own race. So if you are, you know, first for 23 hours and 59 minutes, and then on the final minute, you don't get top, you're not #1, you lose top grossing. So that's why sometimes it may seem like we're doing well and then we end up not getting that much. It's because of things like that. In terms of payouts, it usually takes about 2 to 3 days. I think there was one example where it took like 5 or 6, which was kind of crazy. But in general, it will take a couple of days or a few days. I usually like to err on the side of caution and say a few. So that's what I'm going to say here. Where is the crazy exception one? This is the one. July 16th, July 22nd. That's just crazy. I don't remember it taking that long, but apparently it did. 22nd? 6 days? That's crazy. But yeah, everything else is basically 2 or 3 days. So since the banner dropped on the 25th, I guess give it a day. So the 26th, 29th, Monday the 29th, or I guess Sunday night leading into Monday would probably be a good estimation. Just go ahead and read this. I'm sure most of you won't, but a few of you will, and you guys can help me in the future explaining this to other people. So now let's check the charts. So here we go. We are looking at the 25th. So this is day 0, or yeah, this is day 0. The first day that the banner came out in some regions. In a lot of regions it didn't. But for me in my time zone, it was the 25th at 10 p.m. PDT. So that's why there's basically no life here. We need about a day for the life to start to, you know, kick in here. So let's go to the 26th. I am recording this fairly soon afterwards, so we don't have too many days to use as empirical data. So we'll still do our best. But look at that. All the life is now infused into the charts here. We have 4 regions hitting #1 in all categories. So they could very easily just leave it right there. France, Hong Kong, Macau, and Spain gives us 4 regions. 4 times 7 is 28, which is around 30. So they could totally do this and leave it at that. They did go top games in top grossing games in part 1. Maybe they don't want to do it this time in part 2, because look at how much we got in part 2. I believe in part 1 we had 5 regions hitting #1. I could be wrong there. I might be remembering that wrong. But here we have 9 regions hitting #1 in games. So the new regions are Luxembourg, US, Belgium, Canada, and Portugal. Wow. So yeah, with 9 regions, 63 Dragon Stones is a possibility. 9 times 7 is 63. Sometimes they have been known to round up or down. So 28 Dragon Stones, maybe we could round it down to 25, and 63 Dragon Stones could be rounded up to 65, 70, who knows? So that is a pretty good situation on the global side. I would still tell you guys to assume it's going to be this, because assume they're going to be giving us less than what you would want. 28 Dragon Stones, which is still a good amount. But let's see how the Google Play Store, actually, hold on. I am recording this on the 27th, so let me see if there's anything on the 27th. Yeah, so now all life has halted. Nothing is happening, although Madagascar made a move in games, went from #3 to #2, I guess. So that's cool. But yeah, nothing has changed there. So now let's go to the Google Play side. So the 25th, no signs of life. It takes a few days extra, so I don't think we have enough days ahead of ourselves to even check this. Yeah, the 26th, there's no signs of life. 27th is now still undergoing or underway, and yeah, nothing has happened. We have a few regions almost hitting #1 in games and action. I don't remember how it is for Google, because it almost never happens, but is it, I'm not sure if it's hitting #1 in games and actions or hitting #1 in games that would consider Google Play a win. Because if we hit #1 in Google Play, then that usually gives us that 100 Dragonstone thing. I don't know if it's because of games and actions or games. So I would assume nothing's going to happen. I'm sure Proton will clarify right now in the comments. Thank you, buddy. But yeah, so give it a few more days. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll come back and post something, an update in the pinned comment, or maybe we'll just talk about it when we hit top grossing. So yeah, that's kind of the situation on the Google Play side. And that's all that we can do. All we got to do now is wait. So for those of you who are currently in the middle of your summons, you might be, you know, waiting for that last set of stones to let you do the final set of your buy 3 get 1 free. I wish you all the best of luck. I will say, don't use your extra tickets. You know how when you're doing these summons, you get 3 tickets per 50 Dragonstone spent. Don't use them if you have less than 10. The reason why I say that is because #1, you want to be doing multis with these tickets. They possibly, there's a chance, based on just my own hunch, there's a chance that in these Dragonstone payouts for the top grossing, they might also include some tickets. I don't know if they do. I'm just throwing that out there because, as we have seen recently, logic never applies to Dokkan. Everything you expect them to do, they come out and do something different. Maybe you're not expecting tickets. Maybe they end up surprising you with some tickets. That could be a good way for them to try to rope some of you back in to do more impulse summoning, right? Let's say you've spent all of your stones, you've done all of your summons, you've also used whatever remaining tickets you have for those singles, and now they give you 3 more tickets as you know, along with the top grossing rewards. If they do that, now some of you are going to be like, oh, I got 3 tickets, I don't want to do a single, better go back in and do more summons. They might do that. And if they do, if you've already got some tickets, that will possibly get you over the hump, get you another free multi, and then you can use whatever tickets afterwards as singles. So it might be too late at this point, but I will say, I have been saying this since the live stream. So I'm sure there's gonna be a comment that's like, dude, you should have told me sooner. You should have been at my live stream, buddy. You should have seen my live stream, because I've already been saying this. So hopefully this is advice that might help some of you. Once we get the top grossing, you can use whatever tickets you want in however way you want. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. Let in the comments your thoughts on the top grossing situation on global. How many regions do you expect to hit #1? Do you expect the 4, or do you expect the 9, or something in between? Do you think that we might get that legendary 100 Dragonstone payout for hitting #1 in Google and the App Store? How many Dragonstones are you in desperate need of right now with your summons? And are you going to be waiting for those tickets? Have you already spent them? Are you looking forward to part 3? Because that's going to be dropping in just a few days. I'll do another video on that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.